poinsettias. Hell yeah. That was on my rider, and I was like, I didn't know they were going to do it. And there's a little Charlie Brown tree right in the front. We haven't even done Thanksgiving yet, man. Calm down. It's tomorrow. And they're like, it's Christmas all the time. What is up, everybody? Thanks so much for coming out. Wednesday night, the eve of Thanksgiving. This is the night. This is the night where we go to the bar. And we see the people we went to high school with. And then some people you're like, oh my God, wow. And some people are like, yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. It's a nice mix. I assume that's what's going on out here. It was nice. We came in yesterday, drove in from San Diego. We just got a Tesla, and we drove it from San Diego to here. I don't know if you've ever done the desert drive in an electric vehicle, but you just watch that battery percentage. And you're like, what? Is that all right? Is that normal? Like, I didn't know what to gauge it to, because I'm usually in a gas vehicle. And I'm like, yeah, as soon as it gets to half a tank, I'm getting gas. Because I remember the movie The Hills Have Eyes. And I'm not going to be assaulted by zombies in the desert. But how do you do it with a battery? You know, it's like 60%. You're like, what is that? What does that mean, you know? Because sometimes it would just jump from 70 to 60 in like 2 minutes, and I'm like, what did we do there? And then it stayed in the 50s for a long time. I'm like, what does that mean? But we made it, we survived. And it's still just as stressful of a drive. Like, it's all the same. Like, it messes with my head, because from San Diego through 90% of the drive, it's just 2 lanes, and you got it on cruise control. You're not even driving, you're daydreaming. And then you're like, yeah, we should do that with the backyard. And then someone comes in and you're like, oh yeah, I'm driving. I totally forgot I was driving. I was just kind of sitting with a wheel at my fingertips. And that's 90% of the drive. And then you go through like Gila Bend. I used to call it Gila Bend, and then I found out that's not what that letter does. In Arizona, that's a Hia. That's not a J. That's not a Gila Bend. But then when you get there, then it breaks down to 2 lanes, and it's so peaceful. And then there's a prison, which is so like it's like wow, to have no freedom and in the desert. It's just that feels cruel and unusual, doesn't it? You're like, isn't this? No, you can't even look outside. But if you did, everything's dead. Don't worry about it. And then so it's extra peaceful, and then you get to Highway 10, and it turns into Mad Max. That messes with my head, because it's just like 5 hours of and the last hour is, oh my God! Does everyone have a lifted truck? Like, it's just trucks and flags, like, yeah, dude! Don't tread on me, this is my lane, you know? I love the flag on a pickup truck, because that's someone that's like, this lifted pickup truck isn't America enough. I need 3 versions of the American flag, and then a don't tread on me flag. But then I see them, and they still use their turn signal, and I'm like, I mean, how badass are you, you know? You're still merging? Come on now. Run us over if you're such a badass. But it's nice. I like downtown Phoenix. We were in a Waymo. We took a Waymo over. That's fun. The driverless cars. That's fun to heckle. You know? And I like how they tell you, like, don't worry, we're not recording you. And I'm like, what a way to tell me you're recording me. Because that didn't cross my mind until they're like, don't worry, we're not recording you. And I'm like, no one asked, Waymo. That makes me think you're recording this entire conversation. In case I ever try to run for office, they're like, this is what he said in a Waymo in 2024. That's what he thinks about Eskimos. And you're like, what? I don't remember saying that. It is nice, so much construction. The Waymo couldn't even drop us off. It dropped us off like 3 blocks over. Because it's all construction. It's all, you guys can't keep up with all the Californians coming in. Phoenix is like someone's mom's house when they found out there's 20 extra people coming for dinner. And they're like, dear God, the kitchen's closed. Get the hell out of here. I don't have enough placemats. But there is a look, like I can tell, I've been in town for 48 hours, and I can tell who's from here and who moved in. Like the local Arizonan, at least dudes, like it's a look. It's a look. It's a little bit bloated. It's like I work out, but I'm drinking a lot of IPAs, all right? You know what I mean? It's a look where it's like I'm in shape, but if I gotta fight, I might have a stroke, because my blood pressure is high, buddy. Like the local Arizonan dudes look like they're about to explode. Welcome to Arizona. Like it's just, and you're like, I've never seen a white guy's face that red before. It's like a special hue of red. Kettlebells and Rogan pills. I'm ready to go. Everyone just looks jacked, but it's fun, man. We're doing a Friendsgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. That's my favorite one. Because it's the most easygoing. Like Christmas, you just feel this obligation to see your family. Like if you don't see your family for Christmas, people wonder, not in front of you, but behind your back. They're like, I think he's having issues at home. But Thanksgiving, you cannot see your family, and no one thinks twice. You're like, oh, no, he has friends somewhere, and he's doing that. I love Thanksgiving. Like, Thanksgiving was never even hard at my house, because now, we live in a political age where there's, like, political arguments. But I live in a small family, and we all vote the same way. So, like, at our dinner table, it's just agreeing vehemently. It's just, like, our arguments are just like, right? That's what I've been saying. And that actually leads to an argument sometimes, because we agree too hard, and you're like, keep it down, Ma. She's like, no, I gotta show you this interview. And so it's kind of a good thing. But it was fun, man. We just got drunk in a backyard last night, which is great. I have friends who are homeowners because they live here. All my friends in San Diego rent. They are renters. That's what they do. But they own and they have a backyard. So we just got drunk on wine. There's dancing in front of the fire pit. That's what life at 37 is. You open a wine, you turn on the propane fire tank, and then like someone comes out with an edible, you take an edible, and then just slowly, there's people talking about taxes, and then you're just off to the side. You're like, yeah, dude, taxes, right? And you're just dancing by yourself in a backyard. And that's all I've ever wanted out of life. Like, I went and got my haircut today. I don't know if you can tell. This is an underage haircut for who I am. I don't know what happened on the sides. Don't clap too hard at that. How dare you? Someone was like, I see that weird sideburn going on. You sat down in the chair and you got shy when he started asking questions. I never know the words. Every time I sit down in a bar, I don't know what the hell does a taper mean? I don't know what that means. I'm like, I do this and then just clean up the sides. He's like, I got you, man. And I'm like, I don't like the way you said that. I have a feeling my sideburns are gonna look in a way they have never looked before. And he was a younger guy, like he was in his 20s, he was cool. And he's asking me, he's like, oh yeah, you're in town, you're just visiting? I'm like, yeah, I'm here for a Friendsgiving. And I'm like, he's like, in this neighborhood? I was like, yeah, we're in this neighborhood. He's like, yeah, there's a lot of good nightclubs in this neighborhood. We like to hit the club. And I'm like, yeah. I didn't know how to tell him. I was like, no, we drink in the backyard. Because as soon as he said nightclub, I just remembered me doing this. In front of a propane fire pit, just having a ball. I think that's like the evolution of drinking. Because like you start in high school, where you drink at a home. Like, at a home where the parents aren't there, that's where you drink, and then you eventually become 21, so you go to bars and nightclubs, and then after a while of that, you're like, can we go back home? And then you circle back home, and you're just in a backyard, and you're like, this is where we should have done it the entire time. My bed is so close to here. What are you talking about? My definition of fun is how much fun I'm having and how close my bed is. How close am I to being horizontal? And you're like, this is the best place I've ever been. That's who I've been my whole life. Big fan of it. But God, I love Thanksgiving. Tomorrow I'm going to make everyone watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's my favorite. Yeah. It's the best Thanksgiving movie there is. That movie describes what Thanksgiving is. You're either Del Griffith or Neil Page going to your Thanksgiving dinner. Things are either going really well and you're very successful, and you're a little uptight and you're not that fun. Or you're Del Griffith and you're living out of a trunk, but you're a lot of fun to be around. And those two people shouldn't be friends, but by the end, you're high-fiving and you're like, I see where you're coming from. You have a heart of gold. I love that movie. Yeah, it's nice. I love the holidays. This is the only time of year where I get to, like, it feels like the end, right? Like the whole year happened, and you're like, ha ha ha, and there's the build-up of the election, and you're like, are we gonna kill each other? And then it happened, and it just went, ah. I love that. You feel that tension right now that I just brought that up? You feel that? Everyone's like, I love performing in swing states. I love it. I love it. Because you can feel that. I just brought it up and everyone's like, there's one of them right there. He starts pulling a knife out of their boot and I'll stab one right now. It was a fun election. We had celebrities on both sides. It was an exciting tag team matchup of celebrities. Like one side had Taylor Swift and like Robert De Niro or somebody, and the other side had like Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan. And, you know what the election reminded me of? The closing scene in the movie Air Bud. You guys remember the movie Air Bud? At the end, there was like a court scene where who's the rightful owner of the dog, and there was the mean clown, and then there was the kid that played basketball with him, and the judge was like, the only way to find this out is both of you have to go on opposite ends of the room and call the dog, and whoever the dog goes to, that is the rightful owner. And that was the election. One side you had Taylor Swift and Robert De Niro going, come on, buddy. And the other side, Hulk Hogan and Kid Rock's like, hey, remember being 12? Come on over, buddy. This is where the good stuff is. I like it. That was a decent joke. I can still feel the tension in the room. It's still right there, just a simmer. Look at you. You finished a YouTube video. I'm proud of you. You know, I normally don't finish YouTube videos. I watch 30 seconds, then I'm on to something else, then I grab something to eat, but not you. You're not a quitter. And I appreciate that. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And also go to zoltancomedy.com and see where I'm performing. Come see me live. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm in a rental car. This is where I live. Hotels, rental cars, highways, byways, planes, trains, and automobiles. This is supposed to be a short video. Thank you for watching. ZoltanComedy.com.